Transformers review. Today we're going to take a look at a Revenge of the Fallen toy today. It's something that I haven't done in a really long time. Mainly because of the movie's poor reputation, so what are you going to do? Today's Revenge of the Fallen toy is going to be on Revenge of the Fallen Brawn. I've tried to review this guy so many times, but I could never get the review right, so hopefully this time around it turns out okay. So anyway, Brawn, Revenge of the Fallen Brawn, or Movieverse Brawn if you want to put it in that category. His bio pretty much just says the same that it would about his G1 counterpart. Brawn lives to pit himself up against a lot of physical challenges to prove his strength, and in his opinion, he thinks, well, this regarding the Movieverse, this regarding the Movieverse Brawn, he regards the Autobot alliance with Nest to be a really good thing, and it helps him get ready as much as possible to basically just enhance the alliance between the humans and the Autobots. And Brawn possesses a lot of strength in his fists, a lot of indestructible strength in his fists, and he's dying to use them up against. He's pretty much planning on using them up against the Decepticon Rampage. Maybe those two have some sort of a rivalry. It's never really explained, but just go with the bio. Bio aside, Brawn didn't really appear in any fiction. He didn't appear in Revenge of the Fallen. I'm starting to think he should have, because he would have probably made the movie better, and then some. But what are you gonna do? He didn't appear in the movie. The only bit of fiction he did appear was one of the Titan magazines of Revenge of the Fallen, Inside Out, where Brawn, along with Smokescreen and Wideload, were on duty at Nest base in South Africa, where it wasn't a base, it was a prison where Bludgeon staged a jailbreak, and when Brawn took charge, when all hell pretty much broke loose. He told Smokescreen to stay behind and cover the rear, and when Brawn fell before Bludgeon, he would have died if the reinforcements never showed up, and was pretty much horrified to see the human casualties that were present all around him. And those reinforcements let the Decepticons go in full view of the human media. So that's pretty much it. There isn't really a great deal I can tell about Brawn, except that he is just a powerhouse who just really loves to fight. He has a lot of strength, and he loves to pretty much use it in any way possible. But it's a shame that he didn't really appear in any other. It's a shame that he didn't really appear in any other fiction. It would have been nice if he appeared in the movie as well as more comics. But what are you gonna do, unfortunately? So, with that being said, we're going to come straight on to the toy, because the toy, of course, has its problems and it has its redeeming qualities. So, without any further ado, so here we have Revenge of the Fallen Brawn in his alt mode, and as you can see, his alt mode is a Nest Hummer HX, which you can see is covered from a lot of detail. It's really nicely designed. A very stonking toy as well, and especially well chosen alt mode for Brawn. As you can see, it is this sort of really cool greyish looking colour, which that looks really nice. The wheels pretty much roll very well, depending on which surface you have. The toy rolls really, really well. Strangely enough, this toy is actually a Voyager class, which I would have thought that for Brawn it would have been a sort of scout figure, but I'm glad that they went with this really big alt mode. Now, if you've probably seen this toy already, and I think you probably have, this mold was used to make fallback for the current line of Transformers, which I think that specific repaint is actually supposed to be based off of G1 Outback, but it's not really said. So what are you gonna do? Now, there isn't really a great deal that I can show regarding this alt mode except for how well detailed it looks. You can see on the doors the Nest symbol right there, and on the other side as well, which that looks really nice as well. Has clear windows, which that is really nice as well. And it has this gun, which is actually used for sniping, but it can't really do very much in vehicle mode. It can just go up and down like that. So that's the only thing it can do. And as you can see, it has the dump truck at the end, which that looks really nice. The only problem as well is, like some Transformers, it will always hide the robot mode underneath. Yeah, not a good start, okay? Really not a good start. So, that's really all I can say about his alt mode. This toy is actually really nice. This alt mode is actually one of the best alt modes I've seen for a Transformer in a while. Probably not one of the best movie toys, which we're going to come on to in a few minutes, but it has its moments. So, transforming this guy. All you need to do is just start off with opening the doors, which, there we go. One problem I always have with this toy is that the leg pops off, but I'm going to try and avoid that as possible, and the other door as well. Then disconnect these parts and fold them back like that. Then lift these back, which these are going to become the arms. There we go. Pull the arms out like that. And push these parts down. The front grille, which that looks really nice as well. Didn't come with that. Just separate these. And just rotate these around so that they become the knees. Same with this one as well. Pull out the legs, which that's probably one of the good things about this toy as well, is the leg design. And just disconnect the arms, rotate the waist around, and here is Brawn in his almost seemingly stonking looking robot mode. And we'll just get him ready. Oh, there goes the leg. Fucking toy. There we go. There we are, and here is Revenge of the Fallen Brawn in his robot mode. Now, right away, let me just try and stand this guy up, because standing this guy up is not easy. It's probably one of the most helpless efforts you could ever do for a toy this massive in kibble size. Here is Brawn, and you can see that he is covered from layer to layer with a lot of kibble. This toy is pretty much all kibble. You can see the back, which this is actually supposed to be parts of the alt mode, but it's all kibble. That's probably the only biggest letdown I can think of for this toy. But aside from that, though, just look at how awesome this toy is, though. In design, though, you can see the colors for this toy are almost that comparable with the original G1 Brawn, and thankfully this toy doesn't have spanner hands, because the original G1 Brawn did. So, trying to stand him up, trying to get this guy in some good articulated poses. Articulation-wise, he has some stiff elbow joints. Oh, one of the weapons pulled out. We're going to come on to those in a minute. And leg joints, he has two leg joints, actually. He has one here, which that's quite nice, and the other one, which is right here. And of course the feet as well. These feet are almost like hooves, which look pretty neat, which look pretty decent on Brawn. And detail aside, head-wise, the head sculpt is actually pretty good. I really like the head sculpt a lot for this toy. It looks very butch and very intimidating, very badass for Brawn, as it should be. Which, actually, hang on, if you look at it right now, you can see that the head design is almost like comparable of a dog. Which, that being said, movie Ironhide's face does look very animal-like, so whether or not they were choosing to make this an inspiration, who knows. Weapons aside, he has two little guns, which you can attach to the fists, like that. Trying to get this guy into some poses is impossible, because he is such a fucking stonking toy. But, poses aside, you can try and get him in probably only one pose I can think of without trying to make him fall over. Oh. There we go. That's it. There. That's probably the best pose I can think of, where this looks like something out of a John Woo film. Remember Hard Boiled with Chow Yun-Fat? This is almost like that whole thing with the two guns. Oh, there you go. Because of this toy's weight and width and all that, he will not stand up very well. It's such a huge toy. But what are you gonna do? So anyway, yeah, Revenge of the Fallen Brawn. There isn't really a lot I can say except He's a stonking motherfucker of a behemoth that will not stand up very well. He is covered from layer to layer with kibble. One more thing as well, the head won't rotate the full 360. The head won't rotate the full 360. It just stops halfway. The arms can apparently move the full 360 surprisingly, but that's a good thing about it. Get this guy back standing wise without falling over. There we go. Yeah. So there is Brawn, and he will not stand up. I'm giving up trying to stand this guy up because he's just hopeless. Am I recommending this toy? Probably not, because he won't stand up. He has way too much kibble. In fact, all of this toy is kibble. But aside from that, though, the alt mode is very impressive. The alt mode itself is actually one of the best things about this toy. But it's worth checking out, because since the Revenge of the Fallen toys are currently still on the shelves and no one's buying them, you can find this guy for a reasonable price, if you're lucky. But he is decent, aside from the fact that he's kibble-tastic, which that's probably my only complaint, is that if this toy didn't have so much kibble, he would be a great toy, and he would be posable, and not to mention his limbs would all be very good. But he's not. So, what are you going to do? But anyway, though, yeah, this has been Revenge of the Fallen Brawn. He is a decent toy. Problems aside, he's okay. I'm gonna give it that he's an okay toy. But yeah, this has been Revenge of the Fallen Brawn, and I am Skunkman10, and of course, like always, folks, thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.